Hi all, Nick here from Technology Lowdown. Today we're looking at in-flight Wi-Fi from Virgin and Qantas Australia. So in-flight Wi-Fi has been available in Australia since about June 2018, back when Qantas announced that it had kitted out two of its airliners with this in-flight Wi-Fi service. And shortly thereafter, Virgin, perhaps because of the fear of missing out, announced they would in fact be doing the same also for their domestic Australian flights. Today, this video, we will be looking at the history of in-flight Wi-Fi, where it first surfaced, and how it works, the introduction of it to Australia from Qantas and Virgin, some of the connection process and how you can get online when you're traveling, and the security of this service. It is an open network, so it's not an encrypted connection for that wireless link, but there is network segregation, which does provide some level of security, but again, those radio waves are visible if someone was to listen to that with perhaps say Wireshark. Stay tuned and let's get right into this. So I first started using onboard internet and Wi-Fi on a plane with JetBlue Airline in America. And I found it to be quite a useful service. I was able to stream Netflix and Spotify without any real problems. So I have had pretty good experiences with it so far to date. And if we have a look here, we can find out that Delta Airlines was actually one of the first in America to announce that they would have Wi-Fi on board their planes. Initially, because this was such a new thing in airliners, it was a charged service. But JetBlue offers it for free. Likewise, Qantas and Virgin now offer it for free as a service as well. You can see here that the speed is about 2 to 3 megabits per second, which is interesting because in Australia I was able to achieve a lot more than that. Sure, the speed is in relation to Delta Airlines in America, but so there mustn't be that limitation on the Australian service. I'll show you some speed test results of that shortly. So Virgin and Qantas have been in the internet Wi-Fi game since about June 2018, and now just about their whole entire fleet is kitted out with internet and Wi-Fi on all their planes. So how does this Wi-Fi on board planes work? Well, I've got this graphic here which shows that we've got a satellite dish on the roof of the airplane. Now if I go to the actual graphic here, this is one which has been produced by Gogo, which is the satellite internet service provider for airliners. And we can see we have two satellite antennas on the roof of the plane, and then we've got these access points. We've got 2 at the front of this plane and 3 at the back, so it's excuse me for my knowledge of planes, but this is perhaps like a Boeing airplane, which is quite large, so there is quite a good number of access points there. And there's an onboard server. From some of the tests I've ran with scans on the app that I use on my phone, I have found that this server seems to act as a transparent proxy of some sort, with DNS and DHCP also as part of its service. So that is a little bit about the technical side of how the setup works. And one thing to take in consideration is because the plane is a moving object, those satellite antennas are constantly looking for the best source of the internet service. So that ping rate is constantly changing for your internet service. If we have a look here at gogoair.com, the provider of the internet, we can actually see in this video here that the dish being installed on the roof of the airliner. And that is quite interesting to see, and perhaps you would find it of interest as well. So that website there is gogoair.com. So the connection process, we're getting connected on Virgin, and it's rather pretty much the same process on a Qantas airliner. And you basically connect to their free Wi-Fi, which is transmitting on the plane. I think for Virgin it was Virgin Australia. You connect to that one, which is an open network, so it's not encrypted. And then you go to this web address, wifi.virginaustralia.com. Once you're on there, you're asked to enter in your passenger details, your name, and your seat number, accept the terms and conditions. And then you need to put in the security confirmation code, to confirm that you're a human. I don't know why they need that in an airliner, but I suppose it's a good feature to have there. We've also got this status page which loads up once you've been activated with the service. Once you see this page, this means that you can then use the internet service. When I first connected, I went to the Fast app on my iPad to see what the speed was that I could achieve, and I couldn't run a speed test with it. I assume that this may be because of the ping rate. I never seem to run a speed test with Fast if the ping rate is particularly high. So here's speedtest.net, and we can see we've got a ping rate of 659, so that is quite large. But the actual download speed was 27.3 megabits per second. This, I might add, was at the terminal gate, so it is probably to be expected. The airliner is stationary, and it probably had a great connection to the satellite. For the upload speed, I found that seemed to fluctuate between 3 and about 5 megabits per second, so that's quite acceptable for carrying out most tasks. So you can also connect with a VPN using this service, so that is good if you do actually want to ensure that you are securely connected and your traffic on that internet service is encrypted. So I would recommend you do that. So mid-flight, I carried out another speed test, and we can see here that the download is about 3.6 megabits during flight, and my upload was 12 megabits at one point, and that ping rate, as you can see here, has fluctuated to 400 milliseconds. So that's improved, as a matter of fact, while the airline has been moving. But that will constantly change as the plane is traveling. Occasionally, you will get a dropout like this one here, and there's nothing you can do about that, but the airliner will connect back to a satellite when it comes back into range again. For the most part, though, it is a fairly stable connection. I did open up Google Photos at one point to see if I could upload a few images, but it didn't like uploading, especially over my VPN connection. I think it may have actually got through one upload at one point, but that was about it. So this is a speed test here at one point also, and it does fluctuate quite a bit, but if you've been listening to a Spotify stream with a good connection, you can often listen out that song or even the next song as well, because it does cache some of the content that you may be listening to. I have been able to stream Netflix before on an airliner with their Wi-Fi, and it has worked. I didn't really notice any major problems, only if you were to lose the internet connection. Netflix is pretty incredible at its streaming algorithms. So this is the app that I use for scanning the Wi-Fi networks that I connect to, and we can see that that network on board the Virgin plane is Virgin Australia. And when you run this scan to find out what's on the network, all you can see is your own device. Everything else does return a result because of the way that this network segregation works. So you know that there's something there, but it's all private. You don't know anything about its host name or details. You can't even ping it. You can just get this result back from when it does its lookup for an active connection using the ping port. So that is the Virgin one there, and I think I've also got Qantas here as well. And it's also a similar setup. You run a scan and you can't see any information about the other devices on the network. So I hope this video has helped you learn a little bit about the in-flight Wi-Fi service available to you on airliners such as those from Qantas and Virgin Australia. Thanks for watching this video. If you like it, please like it. If you'd like to see more, subscribe, and don't forget to tap the bell for notifications. I'm Nicholas, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.